University of Rijeka, which are our guest of honor on this year's edition of Speculum Artium New Media Festival. We are looking forward to be informed about all the activities going on in the capital of Quarnero region, and also in the name of the team that organizes Speculum Artium Festival, we would like also to express our hope that this is not just honorary mention this year, but that considering all the points of interest that are common to our festival and your activities, that this could turn out to be a long-term collaboration in the benefit of both sides and the new media scene in the former Yugoslavian Republic and broader. The presentation will be done by Ingeborg Philip and Tomislav Brajnovic, both also employed by the University of Rijeka. And now I'll give the word to you.
Thank you. Hello. I just have to a little bit correct you. I'm not anymore full employed. I was 11 years professor, but I'm now retired. But I continue with the projects, and can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I'm freelance, retired with a full-time job as freelance. But now we talk about our work. Actually, Center for Innovative Media, University of Rijeka, I established in 2017 as a result of art that I wanted to bring science to students. So we organized a variety of exhibitions in Berlin, in Karlsruhe, in Zagreb, and of course Rijeka student exhibitions. And also we went to university departments where students learned about different technologies like physics and mathematics and programs and so on. And on the basis of this, we worked on as Center for Innovative Media. Anyway, at the moment, after me, Professor Tomislav Brajnovic took over the leading position, but we still work with a group of collaborators and very successful. And part of that, our collaboration is also with Trbovlje and with European project FASIH. So coming to the point, that's what I said. We organized in frame of center, talks, lectures, exhibitions, symposia, performances, screenings, publications. And one of the publications, two of publications is Emergency Exit and Aesthetic that you can have look here. For an aesthetic, it's more, and if you like, you can take as well. Unfortunately, we don't have here at the moment wireless, but if you are interested, everything what we've done till now, it's on different media. It's on YouTube. All our organization of lectures, of symposia, everything what is like video documentation is on YouTube. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, more or less, and of course part of Academy of Applied Arts. There is the website that it's all this written down, all events what we did till now. We started actually in the frame in the time of Corona with first project Emergency Exit, we called it, because we did understand that it was so serious that we have to go on, and how? We have to go on with online communication with international artists, scientists, and theoreticians. So we organized in each semester, beginning of Corona, We did 3 semesters in emergency exit, and on the end we resulted as exhibition in Academy of Dramatic Art. And then we realized it's so successful in a sense. We also, as I said, published the emergency exit. Then we together spoke how can we continue, and then we have a group of people who also work with artificial intelligence in between. So we said, okay, let's make it, and Tomislav will much more talk about that, about aesthetics and ethics of new media, artificial intelligence in a sense. Not necessarily only that, but art always is the most important of our work. Art and. So project team is that Tomislav and our collaborator from the beginning, also Diana Protic, who is a doctor candidate at University of Rijeka philosophy department. And then it's interesting, we got very, very good contact already since Rijeka was capital city of Europe. And Professor Vedrana Mikulić-Crnković and me, we were invited to Trieste, and we prepared 3 years together with Hungary, Romania, and Serbia, Belgrade, projects. And it was resulted as exhibition in Trieste in the heat of COVID, but it did, they made a huge exhibition, but we couldn't come there, but there was on television and so on, and the other one was in Rijeka. So Vedrana, since then, became our collaborator because she's one very powerful woman who organized incredible lot of things. She is professor for mathematics, but she also established center since 1 year for promotion of science and promotion of science, if there is something more. And she's, of course, this is how also this FASIC project started, because 2 of us wanted, or I asked everybody like Belgrade and Trbovlje and, no, sorry, you were not yet then, and Trieste and so on. So nobody wanted besides Belgrade. And so with Belgrade we started, and then we found our 3rd partner, Trbovlje. And so we are like big town, smaller Rijeka and smallest, and this really happened to be very successful. So I just wanted to say the process, how we came to what we talk now. Professor Ana Meštrović is from Informatics of University of Rijeka. Marko Mrvaš, you already had chance to know. He is a student since certain time, and he was one of the first collaborators of the Center for Innovative Media, because we got virtual reality station, and I saw this 19-year-old first-year student, and then since then he was really technically and in every case a wonderful collaborator. Then during the FASIC we also came to Katarina Podobnik, assistant at Academy, but also curator. Iris Vidmar-Jovanovic, who was on our last project, Aesthetic, from philosophy department, and Anna mentioned I did too much. So I don't want to read all the institutions, maybe if you have interest. Basically, we got support from university sources, Rijeka University, and with this money we succeeded to continue. I just show you, you don't have to read all that, but how many participants from international we had as lecturers, as artists, as mainly lectures and artists. And then just shortly, emergency exit, to say that what I already actually explained, not to do it too long. This is this publication that you can see here. And then implementation was really to make lectures, podcasts, conferences, workshops. Workshops we did as well with we made competition, so some of them could compete to get in our workshops, and the result was then exhibitions. And also we will come to aesthetic. It's also this exhibition here down. It's a result of this competition. So I will tell a little bit more about artists. So that was an emergency exhibition at the Academy. In that time small, because it was really COVID time, and somehow we succeeded to do that with this. And then now it's ethical, ontological challenges in post-digital art. This is this publication that you can see, very nice, and just a little bit to see how it looked, but more or less you can imagine online professors and artists, and so they had a lot of interesting presentations with a lot of materials. So this is not possible to show, and a little bit how it looked like. And Tomislav will talk about, so I don't want to go about the objectives of this, just to add, and maybe a little bit to see that we ended up last year as a round table with within like end of the project, and also we did very nice exhibition in Gallery OK in Rijeka, and we had also a guest composer and player from Austria, Marco Ciciliani and Barbara Luneberg, and they make lecture performance, fantastic, very special. I must say, all these participants, all people who came to teach and to show their work, they are exceptional, interesting people. So it was not just finding any professor, any artist, it was each of them is very special, and in YouTube you can see on our sites what did they talk and what they show. So it's very much to be seen. And then final was also exhibition in Rijeka, and this is this exhibition what we are showing here. And Bogdan invited actually us as a group, and now it's very important to say what you see here on this exhibition is also what you see down. So there is actually only 2 students, Marco, student of Academy, Paolo Arakic, student of philosophy department, who never before did any media artwork, but during these workshops that we did, she developed something very good video art piece, and we were very happy, and also sound, she produced sound. Then we also was our former lecturer, Alexander Venovic, who is actually living in Berlin and is sound artist and sound composer. He applied as young artist, and so he made this interesting project that you can see down based on his, he was a child refugee in 1991 from Croatia, and he was saying what people, when you look at that, what people are talking, very so absurd sentences, but it's actually each sentence is based on experience of the war. So you don't see any war, you don't hear any war, but just the word. It's rat, 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 but he is using that also as a sound element. So if you really listen to that installation, it's extremely interesting. And then Anna Maria Podre-Barec is actually a postgraduate, doctoral candidate in London, in Central St. Martin's. But she was a student at Academy of Applied Arts before and studied also in London. And she's really artist, theoretician, or artist, you will say maybe better, in artificial intelligence. It's new technology, but with new issues discussing that. Extremely interesting person. And Paola Rakic, as I said, so I just put some things that you who saw it down the exhibition, you can recognize that. There are also their CVs. Marco's project was interesting. He used it as work already before with Professor Anna Meštrović based on data that she collected during the COVID. And then they, with her assistant, he visualized this research on COVID. So it's more complex. It's good to read about that. We have all that in internet to be so. So future project, we are looking forward with our second maybe FASI that we started already. It's going to be next year in summer, end of a project with a big exhibition in each of the cities. And we are planning and hope that we will continue as a second one. So Belgrade, Rijeka, Trbovlje, future of arts, science and industrial heritage. You heard it yesterday already from you. And that's some of us in front of the academy, and also our meetings and partner teams. And this is our first meeting, and this was here in Trbovlje when we went to see the biggest, the highest chimney in Europe. And thank you very much. That's me many years ago, of course, as a photo. So thank you.
Something happened with my presentation. It should be white, black on white, but it became red on black. I don't know why. It was made on Mac. But so it means I'm gonna talk on my mind without many presentations. But what I wanted to deal with is more kind of an artistic point or position towards the whole thing that's going on. This crisis, meta-crisis, AI development, this going towards, I think, a post-human position. That's why I wrote also a post-art position. So I will try to explain why I mean we are in a phase of post-art historically, but first to present, yes, it disappeared. So emergency exit was a reaction to the situation of COVID-19, where everybody was forced to stay at home, and there was no possibility of exhibiting, of making performance, of acting in the public space. So the whole artistic paradigm changed in just one moment, and then the artist, let's say Marina Abramović, said that she's going to pause. She's not going to make performances during this crisis because there is no public in front of whom she could perform. So this state of emergency, I call it a permanent state of emergency because it never ends. The diseases, let's say COVID stopped, but then we had other threats as wars, as climate change, and all these things make a complete change in the paradigm of art. Then we have these aesthetic, ethical, and ontological challenges of post-digital art, because the digital era was the kind of fascination with the media, as let's say video was also a fascination in one moment, and then the interest of the artist shifted towards other themes, and then we can define this post-digital art as a period where artists do not play, let's say, anymore with digital media, but they are dealing with more humanistic or existential threats as social or political or climate challenges. I want to put all this in question. I'm very sorry for this bad presentation because actually I had it on stick, but I don't have it now. I send it as this presentation. But the idea that the main thing that is going on now in the world, in our, let's say, in this period of history, is the attack of the system on human mind. When I say human mind, I think as kind of subjectivity that is, let's say, an inner experience we all have. And as Zizek said, the moment when this system, this AI cloud, this machine, let's say, enters into the mind directly, it kind of makes this direct link to the mind. We can call it as a post-human period because the humanity as we know it disappears. So there is no more barrier between our inner self and the space outside. And such a perspective brings huge changes into the perception of art because what happens? You all know this question, what's on your mind? That's the main question we can find on Facebook. So the first question, što ti je na umu? What's on your mind? So it seems like, it looks like a friendly question. How are you today? What's the weather? Did you have your coffee? So it seems like a friendly quest for our thoughts. But then if we go a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper, then we understand that this is the corporate or system interest in the mind as an asset, because what's on the mind becomes the subject of analytics. We are feeding AI, we are feeding the system makes predictions, it knows our faible points, our illnesses, our, let's say, weak points, and it builds, disappeared here, it builds the addiction or surveillance capitalism. Books are already written about that subject. So, how is that related to an artist? It's related very strictly because art is always starting from a premise, information, a reality. So if you have an altered reality, if you have a disinformation, if you have a simulacrum, simulation of reality, then the artistic result is going to be wrong. No, it's not going to be the truth because you don't have elements in order to have a true conclusion. And so this is the projection in the case we are getting to this point of direct linking to this digital cloud. But now we are not far away from it because the system, when I say the system, is the whole world, the whole civilization concentrated into corporations and states and science and all this progress we kind of reached. So the system is interested for the mind because the mind showed its risky subjectivity. Let's say during the COVID crisis, we all showed the kind of risky subjectivity because we all had our own idea was the truth. Nobody believed anymore into authorities, nobody believed anymore in these institutions, and that state of non-belief continues. So the system sees this subjectivity as a threat. That's why it starts this objective optimization by AI expertise. It starts also kind of digital dictatorship, seen in China, seen in all parts of the world, because you have such a mass of people not obedient to a certain threat or certain idea, certain narrative, that you have a need to go into kind of repression. And the repression is it manifests itself it's here in kind of anticipating revolutions, anticipating kind of critical thinking. It's orientated towards manipulation, disinformation, and in the end it becomes an ultimate weapon. So AI has developed as a final, let's say, human civilizational, how we would say, pronalazak ili discovery, or the ultimate innovation, yes, the place where we are heading to on the deeper level, it's a weapon. So it's used to weaponize states. So the states are actually in a war game, in a war, kako se kaže, trka na zanožanjem, yes, in an arms race, who's going to come first to this AI full implementation? Because the one who has this AI in its full strength can shut down all other projects. So all this is said to say that art is not anymore relevant in that in relation to this civilizational progression, because it makes not part of creation of the time, of shaping of the time, but it just expresses and reacts to the time. It doesn't it doesn't participate in the shaping of our future. So in that sense, the question is, where is art, or is there art today? I think there is no art in the classical understanding, or let's say classical contemporary understanding of the notion of art, because art is now only, what I'm concerned, an experience, because we are all now threatened. We are all in the same position, so we can't say that somebody is performing and the others are watching. So nobody is watching anymore. We are all in the news. We are all threatened, because the future of mankind is in question. In that sense, there is no more formal art in the sense exhibiting things, objects in space, but you can act in time. That's why, let's say, I think that, let's say, Facebook is very relevant. Although there is this question, the system is following you, but that's the stream of informations where you can put your own virus or idea. So you can intervene in real time. In that moment, you are relevant, let's say, as a human or a man with experience of an artist, because you are participating in this moment of, you're on the same level of with Trump, with Harris, with Putin, with all these guys who are directly talking to the people and are manipulating masses through the media. So art can be present only as a message, and in that sense, the message is the media, if it's clear enough. So what you want to say, it's much more important than the form you said it. Of course, the form should be understandable, good enough in order to transmit your idea, but the form cannot compete with this AI heading towards absolute knowledge, absolute control of everything. And another thing, just and then I'm going to conclude, because this subject is it's huge. So there is no more illusion, because art was seen as an illusion, or let's say unclear speaking. Roland Barthes is talking about the death of the author, meaning that you are not anymore author, you are just giving or putting or making questions, not giving answers. So you're not having the position of a God who is saying this and that. So I think that the artist, let's say today, or this man with the experience of the artist, of art in general, between parentheses, should give answers, because there is no more space and time for questions, because AI is going to give it instead. So the only thing to be relevant is to compete with this technology, but not on the media level, but on the ontological and conscience and understanding level. So that's the only level we can compete with this time, is to be aware of what's going on, to say it clearly, but to be honest, I think we can't stop it. So it's a very, it's a race we can't win. Me personally, I believe that there will be an impact from outside, but that's another story. So without an intervention from outside, this line we took can't be stopped. So we are heading towards total annihilation of human subjectivity, of love, of real things. Everything's going to be, sorry, just going back to this, is going to be replaced by artificial synthetic, simulation, emoticon, lie. So all these things are going to be implemented as new reality, and we're going to lose the contact with the, let's say, truth, the real thing, real feelings, art. So that's my short presentation. I'm sorry that I'm missing this text because it was well written. It would be more concise, but I hope I somehow gave you the idea of what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Actually, I can not ask, but I would like to say that our group is interesting because each of us is completely different. And without Tomislav, we would miss a great deal of theory that sometimes we don't agree, or I don't agree, but the questions he is putting on and the way how he is eager to really approve his ideas is very important. So it's always bringing somehow of inhalt of stories. So thank you for your talk.
Nobody's believing so. Bogdan, yes.
Yes.
When you were lecturing, I somehow came to this question about when we're talking about technology. I mean, a lot of things are technically possible to do. We got the equipment, we got the knowledge, we got the skills. But ultimately, if that comes into reality, it could be bad for the mankind. So do we need to rethink and as I understand it, the aesthetics is exactly about that, that some of the technical solutions we would not further develop, even if technically possible, because our mind and our conscience would say that this is much too bad to be implemented in reality. Can we come to this level?
I think that the reality shows the opposite, you know. Everybody actually talks about these things, how to stop, how to, let's say, control AI, you know, because AI can also have a wrong conclusion regarding humanity. It can say, okay, I read the whole history, you as people are bad to yourself, you are the enemies of humanity. Man is the enemy of, so how to stop that? You can't change the history. There was one I think it was Google CIO, ex-CIO, who said, we should start to behave well, so the AI is going to learn from our good example. Now it's too late for the good example. You had these pagers a few days ago. You have the war in Ukraine. There is a war coming up with Iran because there is a temple, a third temple should be built, and Iran is with the mosque present there. So you have many problems that are getting worse in the moment where we should already have stopped with burning the earth. So it can't be stopped because there is a race. Nobody wants to stop because if I stop, the other won't. So America is afraid of China. China is afraid of America. So the only American hope is that they're going to come to this highest point, how do they call it? There is another notion, but now I forgot it. They will come before others, then they will shut down their project. Because AI, quantum AI, let's say, can do things in a few minutes. So I don't believe in that humankind thinks we should stop because it's irrational to stop, but it's not happening. It never happened, and there is no reason to believe that the experience we had throughout history now is going to suddenly take another turnover. Another thing, I was listening to Harari a few days ago, talking about Gutenberg Express. He said Gutenberg Express didn't bring humanism because they were printing first some books hunting witches. So having AI, having internet, having all this social media doesn't mean that the truth is going to be spread more. Now we have the spread of stupidity.
Or manipulation.
Manipulation. So you have more of this noise. You know, so the situation became worse. That's why they are thinking about this objective optimization, dictatorship, science experts putting kind of their truth as obligatory. So I think it's it's doomed in a sense.
But is it like anyone who would be in position to develop this quantum AI would be tempted to make that? Or are maybe not right people involved? Or is it when suddenly when you have this power in your hand, not optimized yet, that you just cannot stop by further development?
That's the history of science. All these guys making atomic bomb or some other things, they not necessarily know what's the final goal of their work. They are scientists with an ego. They want to fulfill their project. They're having money from some military source, but they don't know maybe, or they know. So they are going further. They're not going to stop because their titles, money, existence, everything is connected with this going toward the highest.
Too much is at stake.
Too much at stake. So they're going to make it. They're going to make it.
So, I would like to come back to art.
Everything is art.
No, that's the problem. It's not everything art. But I believe, because I'm more optimist than maybe both of you or some others, but it's not a question of optimism. It's a question of my experience. There is no way that you make prediction what AI can help in many cases, because at the moment art is confusion. It's so many, all kinds of artistic usage of AI, and it's really a mess. You don't know anymore what you are looking. Is it kitsch? Is it good? Is it bad? And so on. But it's a transmission area, and I believe in human intuition, human ideas that comes from what we say from God. I don't mean from God. Suddenly, humans can change a lot of things, and in the history is shown that you don't see in the future. You don't know. You cannot predict. And I don't think that this is the end of the world because of, I mean, conflicts were always, terrible things happen always concerning also politics. But art, I remember when first I came to European Media Art Festival and saw video art, because we didn't have chance to see so many video art. It was so many bad things. But when you look now, there's fantastic people who did fantastic things. And I believe concerning art, also those who are using combination of AI and so on, and they will be able to say something also about politics. I'm sure about that. But we are new. It's very fast, running, but people will do it. People are not stupid. They adopt. They can be also faster than what you think it is. So that's my opinion. So I believe in future of art, that there is possibility of future of art, and I believe in human being. So.
Let's end this discussion in an optimistic way. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. And thank you also our guest, Rijeka, for the very interesting exhibition and also for this lecture that got us thinking. Thank you.